Hey guys, it's Chloe. So today I am here with my February wrap-up, and I read a total of 7 books this month. And February was actually a really big month for graphic novels. I read a lot of graphic novels. I read 2.5 actual books, and I read a novella. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I read this month was an ebook that I read on my phone, and it was The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy by Sam Muggs. I received a free e-arc from NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, and I'm here to tell you, guys, I freaking loved this book. I absolutely cannot wait for this book to come out. I don't remember the exact date that it comes out, but I freaking loved this book. I gave it a total of 5 out of 5 stars, and while it's essentially non-fiction, it's really, really nice. Like if you want to be a bigger fangirl than you already are, then this is a great guide, and it goes for different categories like television, video games, anime, books. It was so great, and I loved it. And I wrote a review through NetGalley. I didn't actually do a video review for it. And I'm not sure if you can see that review on NetGalley, but I will definitely look at that, and if I can, I will link it down below. The next book I completed in February was my TBR pick of the month, and that was Someone Like You by Sarah Dessen. And this was my first Sarah Dessen book, and I'm here to tell you I loved this book. Now, it did take me a little while to actually read this book, mainly because I was like in and out of a slump throughout February, and I was super busy doing some fundraising stuff, but I finished it on Valentine's Day, and guys, it was so good. I loved the romance, but also the contemporary part of it, because stuff that happens in this book actually does happen in real life, and it features a teen pregnancy, which does happen, sad to say, but it was such a good book, and I loved it, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then this graphic novel kick started, and the first one I read was Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. And for those of you guys that don't know, this is a graphic novel, so be aware when you're reading this, but I've been wanting to read this for a while, and this is essentially a forbidden love, and it's a forbidden love between 2 races, and I guess the word for it would be alien, because they're not from this world, they're from 2 separate planets, completely different, and I'm just going to say, this book was so good. I loved it. I got through it really fast, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I loved this book. It was a really nice graphic novel series, and I cannot wait to continue. And right after Volume 1, I picked up Volume 2 of Saga, and again, I loved this book, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars as well. And then I picked up Volume 3, and I read this one, and I loved it, and it was so good. I gave all of them 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm still waiting for Volume 4. It's on hold at the library, but I will be reading it as soon as I can. Next book I read, it's also a graphic novel. I do not own it. A friend lent it to me, but it is The Far Side Gallery 4 by Gary Larson. This was really interesting to read, essentially because it's random comics, just all in one book, and it was a great book to read. I gave it a total of 4 out of 5 stars, and it made me laugh sometimes, but it was really good. I liked it, and I don't really have much to say about it because it doesn't have any plot. It's just random comics, but it was really good, and I loved it. And the last book I read is a book that I read on my Nook, and it is Dangerous Dreams by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This was a reread for me. I read this when it came out back in December of 2013, and this was for one of my reading challenges that I'm doing, which is the 2015 YA Read Everything Challenge. I think that's what you call it. I will link it down below. But it was a really, really good read. It's the prequel to the Dangerous Creatures series, and the second book in that series comes out in May, so that was a nice refresher before getting that. The same rating I gave last time, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, I'm thinking about doing a video like explaining all the reading challenges that I'm doing this year because, one, I'm doing a lot of them. So, a completely separate video on that for you guys. I also ended up reading part of Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gier. This is the second book in the Precious Stone trilogy, and I got to page 144. Again, it's kind of partially because of my semi-reading slump, and I also didn't end up getting to like 2 books that were on my TBR, which is fine. I don't even care. But I will be finishing this up within the next few days, hopefully. And those are all the books that I read in the month of February. I will have my March TBR coming up soon, and I really want to do that video about all the reading challenges, so I will have that coming up soon as well. So guys, as always, if you like the video, press the like button. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. My name is Chloe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!